So I soaked some garbanzo beans overnight and have been boiling them for the last like hour and a half. I've got a lined oven tray or whatever with the garbanzo beans, some cut up asparagus, and then some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and olive oil. I'm preheating my oven to 400 and tossing that in there. And I just peeled and cut up sweet potato, kind of like thick fries. I don't want them too thin because then they get flimsy. If they're kind of chunky, they'll have a really crispy outside and a tender inside. And I'm gonna line another baking sheet with aluminum. And toss these straight on here. Coat these with olive oil. This is a massive one because I went shopping for the business, and tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning, Azure Standard will be delivering my gallon of olive oil, so I'm excited. Can't wait for that. Just a little salt, some cinnamon, and some paprika. And then you just toss this together. I'm going to add a little more cinnamon. And this is so yummy because it's sweet but savory. It's delicious. And this will go in the oven as well at 400 for about 40 minutes or so. And you want them nice and evenly coated with cinnamon and paprika and olive oil. You can flip them after they've been in the oven, halfway through the cooking time, but I usually don't because I like the little caramelized bottom they develop. That's like my favorite part. And with this, I'll be making quinoa with some fresh garlic, parsley, and lemon juice. So I'm going to pop these in the oven at 400 next to the other stuff. It actually doesn't fit next to the other stuff. I got to lift that, switch that rack. I cannot remember if I've cooked quinoa for you guys before, but the biggest, most important thing that I always tell people is you have to rinse it. If you don't rinse it, it tastes horrible. Whatever's on it comes off when you rinse it, and then it tastes awesome. So 1 cup goes a long way. 1 cup is plenty for a family of 4, unless you love it and want to eat it and eat it and eat it and eat it. But 1 cup is a good amount. And so I always rinse it on my little strainer thing. And just put it in a heavy sauce pan, the same kind of pot you would use to make rice in, and then get 1.5 cups of water. So 1/2 cup more of fluid. You can make it with water, you can make it with chicken broth. I'm sure you can do almond milk for breakfast stuff, coconut milk. And then as far as the salt goes, I feel like quinoa picks up the salt a lot more intensely than rice does. So I don't taste the water like I do with the rice, because I feel like if I flavor the water with the salt amount that I think, it's always too salty. So I just sprinkle like a teeny bit in there, and then if we need to add some, we do later, but it's just too risky to ruin it. So just like rice, I set it to boil on high, and I line my pot with aluminum foil, and then put the lid on there. And once it's boiling, I will lower it to a medium low for 15 minutes. and then turn it off and leave it there resting, steaming for 10 minutes. So while this is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and grab 1 garlic clove, a lemon, and some parsley to get ready so that when this is done, I can just fluff it in there. So the way that I get my clove out of the skin is I just like put my knife right over it and then punch it, and it usually like smashes it just a little bit so I can peel it. And then I always cut off the top part because I hate that hard thing. So here's the clove. I'm going to mince that in a minute. I have my parsley in hand. I'm going to rinse it. And I'm showing you this because I know that some people, you know, if you're just starting off cooking, sometimes the simplest little things are the things you're like, how do you do that? Like open a garlic clove, you know? So that's why I'm filming this part. And I really didn't get too much parsley. I'm trying to make it last. I got like maybe half of a handful, and I'm just going to mince it real fine so that it goes a long way. It's been a wonderful day. The weather is really warming up. I'm so happy. So here's the parsley. Then I'll just do the same thing with the garlic. I always like slice it first and then like turn it sideways and do the opposite direction of slicing, and then you just like go crazy with your knife and mince. And it will be raw when I put it in there, so you know you want to mince it. If you have a garlic press, that's a great. I do, but I don't know. There's something about kitchen tools when they only have one purpose. I find them more inconvenient than convenient. Because it's one more thing to clean, one more thing to occupy you going to get it, bringing it over here, getting it ready. I just rather use my knife. I feel like by the time I'm done using my knife, you know, I would have been done getting it, putting the garlic in there, then cleaning it. I don't know. One-purpose tools are just space in your kitchen drawer and cabinets that you don't need. You can free up very easily. Alright, so there's the garlic and the parsley ready. The quinoa is boiling, so I'm going to lower it. And then as far as lemons go, if you roll it, it like loosens up all the pulp inside. So I'm just going to cut this in half. And then when it's time, I will just squeeze it over my hand to catch any of the seeds and let the juice drip in between my fingers into the quinoa. So I won't be adding any of this until the quinoa has cooked for 15 minutes, and then I've turned off the heat and let it steam for 10 minutes. Everything else is in the oven, and now I can just go hang out with the kids. So I just turned off the quinoa. I'm going to let it sit like this for 10 minutes. These are ready. Ready, yummy. That's chickpeas and asparagus. Garbanzo beans.
That is my property. But these are both my properties, really.
So there's the garlic and parsley. I'm going to squeeze the lemon in, but I need my other hand to not let the seeds go in. And dinner's ready. Antioxidants, protein, more protein, lots of fiber, lots of phytonutrients, vitamins, minerals. Everything God intended us to eat. Yay! Eat the rainbow, guys.